We have a quorum. We're really doing Mrs. Ryan said she was going to come up, but she hasn't yet. But we can go ahead and start without her.
Okay, so we do have a quorum, so we can go ahead and call the meeting to order at 5:30. So the first order, that we need to do is to discuss and approve the minutes. So we have 4 different months that we need to approve. We can go ahead and start off with August 9th. I don't know if you have a chance to review those minutes.
That's a question. I checked the email. Was it dated February 8th, 2021? It just me?
Correct. It was a messed up on my account.
Okay.
We had corrected it physically on there. And so the new minutes will reflect that once they post it.
Okay, so these are the right
That's
minutes, wrong date?
Wrong, it's the right minutes, wrong date on the email. That's the correct,
These are-
correct date.
These are the, sorry, I should make sure. These are the correct minutes for August.
These are the corrections.
Okay.
So we have the minutes for August, November, December, and January. So the minutes for August. If you all have reviewed those, and are there any changes that need to be made?
Can we act on them even though we were not on board yet?
Yes, because we did because of the minimum.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so, is there a motion to approve the minutes for August?
I move.
To approve the August
Second.
second, all right, the minutes for August have been approved. Move on to the next set of minutes, November 8th, 2021. Are there any changes that need to be made to the minutes?
This is the same point. We weren't here, but we understand you.
Okay, so there a motion to approve November minutes?
So moved.
Okay, now second. So we can approve the November minutes. We can move on to the December minutes. Is there a motion to approve of the December minutes? Second,
Second.
okay,
Do we have a second for the last one?
Yeah.
Do we have a vote? Or are we gonna vote all together and all?
All together.
we'll just vote all together, I think.
Yeah.
And motion to approve the minutes for January.
I had a couple things about Jen.
Okay.
My name is misspelled. It says Christian Pineda, just Chris Pineda or Christopher. The other comment was, just because I'm not sure members of the public know who the board members are versus staff. When we, at the top which says present, I guess maybe going forward, can we put board members and staff present, just so we know who's, you
Yeah,
know,
We
which
can
board
make
members are attending. And that was just more of a suggestion. So,
All right, we can go ahead and make those corrections, and then we can table the approval of the minutes for our next meeting for January.
Can we vote on them pending the changes?
We can do so,
Yeah.
yes. Of course. So is there, can we go ahead and vote on the minutes then to approve the minutes and pending the changes for January?
I so moved.
Second,
I'll second.
all right, we'll go ahead and approve the minutes.
So do a vote all in favor?
Then we vote, oh, sorry, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
So we can go ahead.
Aye.
Okay, we can go ahead and approve the minutes and pending the changes for January.
I was like, can we, just so we know who's, we're all still new, I just wanna make sure I know everyone's name and who's on the.
Ms. Pizzardi, is that you?
Yes, it is. It was already for that.
Ms. Cynthia Pizzardi.
Oh, okay, right.
Introduce ourselves.
Sure, I'm not sure I've met you. Chris Pineda is my second meeting with new board member.
My name is George Olivo. This is my second meeting also, and I serve on 3 other nonprofit boards in the community.
Ruby Gonzalez, current chairperson for the board.
And I'm Marquise Knop, and this is going to be the start of my second year.
Okay, we can go ahead and move on to item 3 on the agenda, citizen comment. Do we have some citizen? No citizen comments. Four on the agenda, we have the appointment of officers continued. We still need the recording secretary and the vice chairperson. And I believe the only board members that are eligible is Ms. Mott and Ms. Ayala. So would you consider, a position for either recording secretary or vice chairperson?
I'd take the vice chair.
Vice chair, would you nominate? I nominate Ms. Knopp for vice chair. Is there a second?
Well, it's, I'll second, but I guess, I'm curious to know if you could summarize maybe your experience from last year, any things I feel like you learned from last year, maybe you want to do the same, do differently.
Well, it's not really an election. Well, it's not really a,
Yeah,
like, well, last year we went over, we had a committee established to give recommendations, and then we accepted the recommendations. It takes a while to learn the process and our role. And so far, I think I kind of understand what the library is trying to do. And hopefully I can continue what I learned from Ms. Bresas, who was our chairperson last year, and she did a really good job.
okay, I second.
Okay, all in favor of voting for Ms. Almonte Snob for vice chairperson, say aye.
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 All right, we're all in favor, so congratulations. And then we will still be pending the recording secretary position.
But as I understood, there's only one person who can,
One of the person, she did.
Correct, but we still have to formally.
so she has to say yes.
Still have to formally vote. So we'll go ahead and table the recording secretary appointment for our next meeting. The next order of business is the library report.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Mr. Deva was unable to make it today, so I'll be doing the library report. I'm Brenda Trevino. And so I think on your, I don't know if you were able to get a copy of the PowerPoint result printed up. No, okay. All right, well, one of the first items on the agenda is the southmost crosswalk lights. That had actually been a recommendation from the board. And so I'm happy to announce that those have finally been installed over on the southmost side. Hopefully later on I can show you pictures, but we have one in the corner.
They have been constructed.
Yes, sorry, they're smaller pictures, but we can try it around. But they have been already installed, and so they are one on the southmost side towards the library, and another one across the street of the restaurant, kind of corner to it. And
I have a question about it.
Sure.
So I was reading about it in the previous minutes and I'm just trying to get up to speed. So what was sort of the issue that was trying to be addressed?
Oh. We're trying to bring more visibility to the southmost library, just because it is kind of hard to tell where the entrance is at. And no, they were able to put the pictures up there. So we're trying to find methods to where the entrance will be a little bit more visible. So one of the suggestions had been to maybe add a crosswalk there with the blinking lights to see if, people will slow down and actually notice that our entrance is right there, since it's a little bit hidden. So we do have a few other suggestions that were given that are still pending, but this is one of the first ones that we have been able to go ahead and implement.
Just because, can I go up there? Because I can't really see it that well. I just want to make sure I can see you tell what I'm saying. I know that there's the pre-existing sign is that little, oops, oh, sorry. It's fine. I mean, I'll just go up there. I just want to make sure I understood. So this part right here, this is that's the current, wait, is there a current sign? I thought that was maybe.
That's the one that was just installed actually last week.
Okay, that's the current sign we're talking about, or?
Yes,
No, you're talking about the car sign that's in the back. No, that belongs to that business on the other side.
Okay.
It's the yellow people sign
This one.
with the blinking light.
Yes.
That's what's currently.
Okay, so this is the crosswalk sign you're talking about?
Yes.
yes, So there was two added, one to each side of southmost. And so we are still in the works of adding the other lights that were suggested over to Manzano, on Manzano, as well as the other two decorative lights on southmost that we can put the banners. So those are still in the works. But from those two suggestions, the first one is already up and running.
Good question. So I saw the reference to Monsanto in the minutes. Is that like one of the other entrances?
Yes.
You're talking about?
There's two for southmost, there's two. There's the southmost entrance and then the back entrance is Manzano Road.
Okay.
Yes. And so, so we did have the crosswalk and then, we're gonna go on to the next slide. Lisa here is gonna talk to us a little bit about some new services that were introduced this month.
So my name is Lisa Rodriguez and I'm the technical services supervisor here. We're very excited with some of the services that we have for coming or that have started. One of them, I'm going to start from the left to the right, is the Makerspace, which launched on February 1st. And that's offering more of the 3D printing services. It's not on there.
Okay.
I think
We switched it around. Okay, well, I'll also discuss it. And that one has a heat press. Oh, there it goes. A heat press. We also have a Cricut, a Silhouette, which is also a cutting machine, can be used for paper, films, or any vinyl. They also launched a Twitch channel where they'll stream 3D printing services happening at the same time.
And these services are occurring where, here? or-
Yes, here, right now.
Just here, yeah. So actually, I walked in.
Here,
I just wondered where I was talking was the same
Yes.
setup.
So we've been getting quite a bit of interest in that makerspace. So we're hoping to launch more services in that actual space coming soon as well. And then the next, we also have the, yes, sir.
So for the makerspace, are those classes or just, you just have the space available?
There's going to be a little bit of both that they're introducing, as I know next month they're going to introduce like how to do actual 3D printing. What does it entail? How to work with the Cricut and the Silhouette machine. And then they're also going to have other different classes on how to do, what is it?
Stammering and
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Is it like drop in or you have to reserve a space beforehand or?
It's either both.
Okay.
It just
We're gonna
depends on
give
the
this
program.
information out to the community before the classes start.
Yes. We'll have flyers, we'll have social media posts.
Social media flyers, okay.
Yes.
currently that's what we've been mainly using, our social media, because the services did just actually open to the public on the first of this month. And so little by little, they're also visible out on the floor. That way they can gain traction and more noticeability towards our patrons.
So what were the upcoming ones you were saying, like in the near future?
How to work with the 3D machine as far as like, how to send your prints in so that you get them done. How to work on the Cricut and the Silhouette machine. So you bring your design or you can provide one as well. Using the heat press machine. So you can bring in your totes, your shirts, and you can actually put an actual graphic design on there. You know, things like that. The next thing is going to be the scientific calculators that were introduced as well. And that is doing fairly well among the students here. We do have 10 available at each branch. And so far we've had 60 checkouts. So that's doing very, very well. Next is something that we just launched about 3 weeks ago, which we're very excited about, which are the MiFi portable wireless devices. So that's more of like internet on the go. We have 25 at each branch for a total of 50. As of right now, they're all checked out at Main and more than half is checked out at South Coast. So that is doing
What
well.
was that again? What did you say what it was? It was my what?
MiFi, it's a hotspot, a Wi-Fi hotspot.
When they check them out, for how long?
It's going to be for 2 weeks, 14 days. Let me look with this.
Oh.
Oh, look, there she goes.
So
She's got one like that.
you check it out at the library.
Yes, you
phone,
take it home.
if you don't have internet access.
And up to 5 devices can connect to that device. That's pretty neat. So we have a total of 50 for both branches.
Okay. Is there any sort of, this is just curious for any for the new technology, is it just use your library card, have to put a deposit, anything?
No
different than regular?
deposit, it's just you have to have an account, use your library card to check it out.
Yeah, that's great.
And it said on social media that people find out that you have that available and then they just come in and
Yes.
sign up.
It's on social media and it's been added to our website.
Very excited about the hot spots, especially for the southmost community. I know some of my students have already checked some of them out, so I'm excited about it. Excited about that.
And we were able to obtain this due to a grant, so that was very, very nice.
Do you know what grant was that?
Yes, that was the, emergency connectivity fund.
Okay, all right.
I'm curious to know too, and you said these just became available?
Yes, 3 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah, I'm curious to know what the utilization is gonna be like.
Yeah, so far, not current, what we have right now, we had 61 checkouts.
Okay,
So within
just
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Mhm.
But these must be very short checkouts then.
It's 14 days.
Okay,
They have the option to renew once, and then after that, let's say they still need it, they just bring it in and we check it out again.
And then the next one we have is a Little Red Riding Hood play. And this was part of the task force proposals that they wanted to introduce acting workshops here in the library. So with that, we were looking for children from the ages from 6 to 10, and all spots have been filled. They will perform Friday, May the 27th at 5 to 6 p.m. at Southmost. All the children are very excited, and so are the parents, to be able to do this.
I have a question, but so I guess, is it just library staff who's coordinating it, or who's like the director?
Yes, it's a library staff, one of our librarians, and she's actually taking charge of this. So she
Okay.
she did an open casting call. She had children and parents come in and they auditioned and they got the
Okay,
parts.
the only reason I'm asking is, we have Camille Playhouse and then some other theater groups, and just curious if any partnership could ever be available.
Yes, we're looking into more partnerships, and once this one gets going and there's an excitement, then we're hoping to bring others involved as well.
Okay, can I make one suggestion too, for maybe additional in the future? If you're ever looking for, I'm an attorney, but sometimes people have put together, sort of like famous mock trials or, like famous case or famous debate. And there's sort of content already out there. If you're ever looking for ideas about something the kids could, have costumes, take on roles and that sort of thing. There's definitely content out there for that with the State Bar of Texas.
Okay, well, thank you for that. And then we have the adult computer literacy classes that starts tomorrow. And this is gonna happen on a monthly basis. This will be every Tuesday will be at Southmost in the morning from 10 to 11. And then on Thursdays, it would be at Main from 5 to 6 p.m. And what we want to do is there's 10 spots only available due to the limit of computers that we currently have. But the first week it's going to be introduced to computer parts, the hardware that's entails within a computer. Then we're going to introduce them into computer capabilities and then how to navigate through the internet. And then finally, the last week would be how to work through your emails. So there's been a good demand on that. So we're hoping as the demand continues, we'll be able to put more computers out there for more patrons. And currently we do have a waiting list and it is filling up very quick.
How many people do you
The
have?
5 to 6 month class will be where?
At May, yes.
Sorry.
On what day? Usually on
On Thursdays. Those would be Thursdays at Main and Tuesdays at Southmost.
Tuesday mornings at Southmost. It was from 9 to 10?
10 to 11.
10 to 11. Yes, and we currently have 10 slots, starting off at each library. Both, the 20 slots have filled up already and we are at the waiting list.
And how many people do you have on your waiting list?
That number I'm not sure of, but if I had to guess, I say we have about another probably 10 to 15 per library. So the demand is there. The demand is there, but we're starting it off small, seeing what the actual attendance is, and then from there, we'll see how we can expect.
the right now currently it's 10 per class.
Yes, just because we do want to have that one-on-one interaction and be able to give our attention. And so we do have 3 staff members that will be available to help them out per class.
Is it English and Spanish or?
It's gonna be bilingual.
And those 10 spots that start off this week, are they gonna be the same patrons for the following weeks, kind of like a cohort type, or are they gonna be different?
They have the option to go ahead, those that showed up to that first class do have the option to automatically go into the second one, but in case they say, no, we're not gonna be able to make it to the second one, then that's where we pull from the waiting
Okay.
list.
I'm curious, is this the first time you've had classes like this or something
No, we've had some in the past, but it's been a while, and so this will be our first one
in a while?
in pre-pandemic, so about 2 years now.
I'm curious to know, like in the past when you've done them, what sort of I guess, feedback you get or,
So in the past, it's been kind of similar amount in ratio from patron to staff, but they have differed in the sense that in the past, they were more geared towards whatever technology question they had. So if they wanted to, each patron came in with a specific request, so the staff member would help them out, whether it was learning the hardware or if it was like, I want to learn how to use eBay, or navigate through Amazon or whatever data they were looking for.
and I guess my follow-up question would be, I mean, do you feel like, it sounds like you may have answered this, but is it sort of more personal interest? Is it people maybe looking to make a job change, and trying to develop some skills?
We have had some job search and resume increase in the past and classes that are solely based on that, and that will be projected onto these sets of classes too. But this time around, staff will also be taking surveys and seeing what do our patrons want now.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'd like to hear about those surveys, what sort of thing people say.
Sir?
And I was gonna also comment on, I know that there's some organizations in the community that do literacy and computer. I know we used to have a Brownsville Literacy Center.
I think they closed.
They closed down, but I believe there's since for the adult continuing ed classes.
It might be interesting to partner with some of the entities that are already doing this, and maybe that would allow you to increase the number of people per class. And it'd be nice to have some kind of certificate that they can put, like if they're trying to enhance their resume.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's, you could, I mean, I agree with, I mean, you could see, I'm curious to know if there would be follow-up, for instance, about a class just on how to use Word, or just a class on how to use Excel. You know what I mean? Then maybe is there some kind of certification, like they've mastered specific skills?
Especially since that literacy center is not in operation, I mean, that is providing a very important.
I believe
Service.
Microsoft Office does have some sort of proficiency certificates available. Maybe we can look into that and see how it could fit in. For them.
Kind of, they can put on their people put on their resume if they wanted to.
We currently do have a database called Knowledge City that also allows you to get certificates for Microsoft. That would be something that we can also introduce to also promote our databases as well during the classes. Really, that's our goal to do that. Thank you for this feedback.
Yes.
And then we'll grab feedback from our patrons as well and see what else that they're looking for. We'll introduce it as well. And then finally, we have the notary services. This will launch on the February the 28th. Yeah, on the 28th, and this is going to be by appointment only, Monday through Friday from 10 to 12 and 1 to 4. And this is going to be for both branches. So if someone calls and they want, they're from the Southwest area, Ms. Ruth Rosemary will travel to that location and perform the notary services. And it's going to be
hours again. I'm sorry.
It's 10 to 12 and 1 to 4.
And is it a staff person who's the notary who's doing the service?
Yes.
That'll be Miss Ruth and Miss Marble.
So you're notary, okay, so, if you want to get the word out, is this a brand new thing you've done before?
This is the first premiere. This is the end of the month.
So, there's a Cameron County Bar Association, that's like the group of attorneys in our county. And they have a weekly listserv, they send emails out every week or every couple of weeks. Yeah, I think something like this might be good, just if people need a free notary, because they can add up, like $20 sometimes or whatever people charge. So yeah, no, I think that this would be good to help with. I think there are entities that help get the word out for that if you want. I can actually share with the Bar Association too, if you'd like.
That would be
Great. President of the Cameron County Bar.
Thank you so much. And then one other service that we did introduce is a new database called Canopy, and it's a media streaming service that we have. So that's also going to help the patrons be able to check out media, movies, and TV that's out there for them to view from home or anywhere else.
And then just to close it out, I've got two more items just to let you know about. On January 28th, we did go ahead and host our first employee retreat over at our Southmost branch. We did have to do it into two groups, but it went pretty good. We had different guest speakers that talked about, having a positive work environment and a good working culture. And then, of course, we did some team building games. Staff were very responsive to it, and they have given already suggestions for our next one that will happen. And so we hope to continue that trend there and have some good feedback on the retreats. And then one of the other items that was also part of the task force and our work plan that was suggested was the mural for the Southmost Library. And so just a quick update on that is that we actually did meet last week with a muralist. She's local, actually from the Southmost area. Her name is Duce. And so she's already been given the parameters for what we kind of want over at our mural, specifically pointing out that we do want it to be community-based. And so she's working with Ms. Cassie over there, and then later on also with we'll be introduced to Ms. Gonzalez, because of course part of that contest is going to be through our Lopez High School. But at least that is already in the works, and hopefully we'll get it up and running soon.
It's a more of a clarification question, because I'm new to the muralist. And
Yes.
I know sometimes there's been, I think there was some controversy about a downtown muralist who got picked and how they got picked. I guess was there sort of a process to pick this muralist?
Well, we wanted someone local, so there was a search that was done. We did go through
Okay.
several contacts till we were able to find someone who could work with us. But she is local. She's from Brownsville and actually lives in the Southmost area, or around the Southmost area.
Thank you.
And so, for us, any other questions? Thank you so much.
Good work.
Thank you. All right. Our next item is the discussion of the library marquees, and there were copies on here in the front. Everybody has copies.
Before we go on with this item, the ladies sitting in the audience, are they employees, are they
Yes.
visitors? Can they introduce themselves? Just so that we get to know them.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cassandra Memphis. I am actually the technical service assistant here for the Brownsville Public Library. I will be helping out with the one-year phone. Hello, everybody. My name is Kayla Trevino. I am a librarian here at the library. I'm usually stationed over at the Southmost branch, but my main focus is youth services.
I'm Josie Noble, I'm the branch manager for Central.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm one of the librarians here and stationed at Maine, aside from Kayla, who's a user.
Thank you.
Okay, the next discussion is just gonna be, I guess, update on the marquees that we plan to have for the Southwest area. I know the last time we spoke, it was just about changing the height between the floor or from the ground to the LED display, just because it was a little bit short, and we raised up the height, and then I guess if we just wanted to discuss, I guess, amongst the color of white or black. I know this was something that we were gonna discuss today.
So the height was increased then?
Yes,
Or-
it was picked up. It was at once, I don't remember. the
These are the new, I'm sorry, these are the new permits.
Yes,
Okay.
those are new. Yeah, the last time it was like from arm reach, and now they're higher.
White or black?
Yes.
Okay. The white is brighter. I mean, I guess y'all have been thinking about some sure the pros or cons for one or the other that y'all thought about.
Yeah, I mean, we did want to make I guess the entrance of adding to the lights that we wanted to make it more visible, so I mean, the white would take that option, and it should be LED, it's LEDs, they're illuminated, so.
And this would be, so it'd be on the top that is the changing marquee or the bottom?
The bottom, so it's the top one, the white.
Stays the same.
Stays, or black stays the same, and then where it says the 4th of July is the actual LED.
Announcements change.
Which would help us, because we do have, that's how we would display our programs.
Yeah, I agree. The white kind of gives it more visibility.
And are we okay with the height? Do you think that?
So is it 19 feet? Is that what it says? Okay, and I'm just in terms of thinking, telling us about your thought process, because I think last time it looked like someone could touch it.
Yeah,
So maybe there was like 7 feet. I don't have the last one. I'm sorry, but
I think it was around 10. I think, from the distance.
okay. I'm just curious what sort of the thinking behind the 19 feet versus 16 feet or 15 feet. Just I guess what was sort of the thought process for that? Pros and cons.
Well, it was just for us to change it.
Yeah, well, to that height, because I know, just so what I understood from the last meeting is we don't want it too tall, as it is now, because no one ever sees it.
Yeah.
We don't want it too short, because then maybe people will like damage it.
Yeah.
So,
So it didn't, it just changed a little bit. It wasn't so much. I do believe,
On the past picture that we had shown last time, it was within reach, so.
yeah, I feel like someone could touch it.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
short enough, yeah.
There was very, in between my height, since it's me in the picture,
Okay,
it looked like I could touch it.
right.
And so phone call was placed that we needed to raise it a little bit higher. And so it was determined, the height of everything, 19 would probably be their best recommendation.
And that's the very bottom of it.
Right, yes, the very bottom of the screen.
Okay.
but it's still not as high as the correct one. Yeah,
Right.
I know that's something that we didn't want to go too high either. So it's still not as
Right.
the height of that.
And that'd be the only thing, I guess, not to go too high either.
Yeah. No, but it's still, it still stays below the current one.
More or less, by when would would the new marquee be installed?
To order,
It should be.
Depending on like everything, so you don't have to twist your head. The last time we did speak to the representative, I believe he gave, an average of, about 6 weeks. But that was just an average because it depends on things right now, the shipping and certain materials, are taking longer to process. So it was a very rough timeframe that he gave us, but he did make us very aware that if the item's in stock, then it's probably within those 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But if they're not, it could take up longer and he couldn't give us a time frame.
okay.
This seems like a dumb question. I'm trying to work out the scale in my mind because how tall are you more or less?
I'm 5'6".
5'6", okay. So it looks like it's less than double your size in that picture. So maybe that gets you to under 12 feet. But then the scale says it's 19 feet. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
doesn't seem to match the picture.
And the man is supposed to be 6 feet.
So I wonder, if that looks good to me, but I wonder if 19 feet is going to be way taller than that, what it seems to be in the picture.
Well, we can verify again with our representative just to make sure that these numbers and measurements are correct.
Okay. Yeah, because you're right, there's 6 feet. That's,
It might just be that they were trying to give us an impression of what it would look like, but this might not be the scale.
yeah.
But we
Is that-
can always double check on those measurements before putting.
Okay. Because maybe 12 feet was great, maybe 20 feet, 19 is too high, so.
Yeah, it looks like, in total is 19 feet, and from like the floor to the LED is about 9 feet.
That's right.
And then the rest is, because you're looking at the screen is 4 feet, and then the sign is.
So
And
from
additional-
the screen to the bottom, it should be.
Oh,
about
I'm
9
sorry,
feet.
the whole thing is 9
Yes.
feet.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So it's about like,
Mine is 6,
From
right?
the bottom to the floor is 8 feet.
It's about like 8, 9 feet.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's like 13 feet, right? It'd be about 13 feet, because if its whole thing is 19 feet, and then you subtract, oh, okay, and you subtract the 10, so it's about 9 feet. Okay,
Yes,
that's interesting. Okay.
Distribute.
Was there a price increase?
As into the meeting.
There has been a price increase, yes, because again,
Ayala?
the fluctuating material and the fluctuating of the freight.
Right, I believe Ms. Ayala has a question?
I don't know, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No, I think one of the things I was gonna say about the marquee, the main thing on the southmost area, I used to be the area superintendent over there, you couldn't see it. I see the color is more attractive, that they will be able to see it because many times a lot of people will miss the entrance to that area. It wasn't necessarily the height. It was too high that if you really had to look up. And now the color will be more attractive.
Yeah.
So these would be, this would actually be like the color of the blue.
Yes.
Okay.
And what was the price on this?
40.
I think the minutes said 30 to 40,000.
Yeah, but there was a price increase.
So it went, it's the last quote that we were given is 40,650.
Did they take bids? That wasn't there again.
I'm sorry,
Was there a bid process and stuff like that?
for this, the company that we have is in contract, so
Oh, so
it's in contract with the city.
Are there any other questions for on the marquee?
So are we to, I mean, you just wanted to vote on the, what we recommend, or?
Yes, like a recommendation between the,
That's B1 and B2.
yes.
Right.
Okay, so all in favor of new sign B1, which would be the white and blue? Say aye.
Aye.
So,
Aye. Okay, all in favor of new sign B2, which would be the black? Say aye. Okay, so sign B1 has our 4 votes.
the online votes.
And the online votes, Ms. Ayala?
I like the B1 because of the color. The black can't be seen at night. And it's easier for people to be able to see it.
All right, so we have a unanimous decision then for new sign B1, which will be the new marquee for the Southwest Library. Okay, good job. All right, that's awesome. Great. Do we have any other items at this time? Any other comments from the board members?
Yes, I would like to compliment you because you brought up the point before about those computer classes for adults. I'm very glad that we're going to be implementing them and at both libraries, and that's very well. I compliment the staff for the work that you have been doing.
Right, so do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
One other question.
Yes.
Was Ms. Ayala on the board before?
Yes.
So do you want to take care of that business right now?
Okay, we can go back to,
Item 4.
item, yes. Item 4. Ms. Ayala, we do have the appointment of officers. That was item 4 in the agenda.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
we have the recording secretary position that still needs to be filled. And you are the eligible member of the board for the recording secretary. If you would be willing to take the position, I would like to nominate you for the recording secretary.
I would certainly appreciate it. The concern that I'm having right now and why I'm on the video, I have a health problem and sometimes I'm not able to be there. And I would like to have somebody, not that I don't want to, but at this point in time, it's not feasible for me.
Okay. So in that case, what would be the next
So, the other thing would be if the board would like to go, we could have Maribel be your recording secretary. But you all would need to make the decision.
And I have a question about, so, because you all are keeping the minutes for us, like you type up the minutes. So what's the difference between what you're doing, and what the recording
So
secretary
normally
does?
the recording secretary is the one that writes the minutes. We did not, our last recording secretary did not, turn in the minutes before she left the board, before she was reappointed. So that's why I wrote up this one. But usually it's the recording secretary that does the minutes. I just house it and file it and provide it to city secretary's office when requested.
Okay, so I guess one question is, would you be willing to do that, I guess?
Yes, I would be willing to.
And since we still have to approve the minutes, then we need to make changes.
Sure.
I think that would work out.
But I guess if you ever need help, I mean, I can just take notes with you with votes or.
We also do the recording, so I go back and listen to the recordings and.
Sounds good.
All right, so if the board agrees, we could have a motion to have Maribel be our recording secretary.
I would like to move that we do that.
A second.
Okay, perfect. We can go ahead and have a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, thank you. Okay, so then we will have Maribel be our recording secretary for this term.
Thank you.
Great. So it looks like we have come to end of our meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Don't move.
Second,
I'll second.
can we go ahead and vote on adjournment? Aye.
Adjourn.
Aye.
All right, so this meeting is adjourned at 6:13.
Everybody enjoy Valentine's Day.
Have a good Valentine's Day.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, thank you for being here. Still dirty.
Good job.
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, it's, that little fire, it's a